Life is like a flowing river, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and we as small boats cannot avoid the surging waves of emotions. There are sunny days when we feel happy and full of energy. But there are also stormy days when we are submerged in sadness, disappointment, or even despair. If you're seeking a compass to navigate this ever-changing ocean of emotions, if you yearn for a steadfast spirit that won't be swept away by the tides, then this video is for you. Today we will explore together 5 golden rules of Stoicism, a philosophy that has helped millions around the world find true peace and happiness. These rules are not magic spells, but practical tools to help you cultivate emotional mastery and face challenges with calmness and clarity. You'll learn to accept what you cannot change, focus on what you can control, and find strength from within yourself. Join me on this journey of discovery and transformation, because when you master your emotions, you master your life. Rules 1. The power of letting go. Letting go is a powerful tool for achieving emotional freedom. Imagine your life as a kite bound by a string. When controlled by that string, it flies at the mercy of the wind without a clear direction. We often become attached to people, circumstances, or even ideas, allowing them to dictate our emotions much like the wind controls the kite. Stoic philosophy, an ancient school of thought, teaches that true power lies in the ability to let go, to loosen the strings that bind us and break free from the control of external influences. However, it's important to note that letting go doesn't mean becoming indifferent or apathetic. It's a process of self-awareness, learning to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't, in order to live a lighter and more serene life, a state that Stoic philosophers always advocated for. Modern Stoics understand that excessive dependence is a sure path to suffering. When we cling, we place our happiness in the hands of uncontrollable factors. For instance, we might pin our hopes on a job promotion, believing it defines our self-worth. But if we don't achieve it, we easily fall into a state of dejection and disappointment. This is the lesson of Stoic philosophy. The promotion itself is not within our control, but our reaction to it is. By practicing letting go, we can direct our energy toward things truly within our grasp, like self-improvement and maintaining daily discipline. Recognizing what binds us is the first step towards achieving detachment. Stoic philosophers suggest that we need to clearly identify the things we're clinging to and understand their root causes. Sometimes we become so accustomed to certain thought patterns and behaviors that we don't realize we're dependent on them. Consider a situation where you've been attached to a toxic relationship, believing you need that person for happiness. This is common and natural, but Stoics understand that such happiness is an illusion. True happiness and inner peace come from within, independent of external circumstances. One way to practice is to write down the things or people you're dependent on and reflect on how they're affecting your life. Letting go is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice on the path of personal growth. Becoming a better version of yourself means learning to let go, releasing things that no longer serve you. It could be a job that no longer brings joy, a relationship that's no longer fulfilling, or even habits that hinder your progress. Each morning, a modern Stoic can practice letting go by asking themselves what is essential and what can be left behind. This not only lightens the mind, but also opens up space for new opportunities and experiences that truly add meaning to life. Rules 2. Understanding attachment. Understanding attachment is a crucial step in exploring Stoic philosophy and personal growth. From early childhood, we are nurtured with pure and unconditional love. However, as we mature, the ego gradually forms and strengthens, bringing with it attachments that can distance us from our true nature. Attachment is often a product of the ego, a way to protect ourselves from the uncertainties and instabilities of life. We cling to relationships, material possessions, fame, or even personal beliefs and opinions, as if they were life buoys in the vast ocean of existence. However, this attachment also creates invisible chains, trapping us in a vicious cycle of needs, desires, and dependence. Stoic philosophers argue that living from a place of love rather than ego is a conscious choice that leads us to inner peace and genuine happiness. For instance, when we love someone from the ego, we constantly demand reciprocation, recognition, and fear loss. But when we love from a place of genuine affection, we accept them wholly, without expectations or constraints, and are willing to give without needing anything in return. Similarly, when we're attached to material possessions or fame, we'll always feel insecure and incomplete. But when we learn to let go of those attachments, we'll find freedom and happiness from within. Rules 3. The illusion of the ego. The illusion of the ego, a subtle yet powerful trap, leads us to believe that happiness and fulfillment can only be achieved through external validation and admiration. It drives us to constantly compare ourselves to others, placing them on a pedestal, and forgetting that deep down we are all human beings with our own strengths, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities. Stoic philosophers have long warned about the dangers of seeking external approval. They argue that it's a form of emotional slavery, binding us to the judgments and expectations of others, causing us to lose our autonomy and inner peace. Only when we confront and overcome this illusion can we discover our true strength, which comes from independence, self-confidence, and the ability to appreciate our core values, our character, intellect, and the positive qualities we've cultivated. When living under the illusion of the ego, we easily fall into the trap of negative comparison. The ego urges us to believe that we need to be better, richer, or more successful than others to have worth. However, Stoic masters like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius remind us that the true measure of success lies not in external possessions or status, but in how we live our lives and treat others. Stoic philosophy invites us to abandon these destructive comparisons and focus on personal growth, cultivating discipline and resilience, the qualities that constitute our true inner strength. A prime example of this illusion is the constant feeling of envy that arises when we see others' successes, especially on social media. The ego tricks us into believing we're falling behind, that we should have what others have. However, Stoicism teaches us to look inward, to find satisfaction in our own accomplishments, and to appreciate what we've achieved. By recognizing that everyone has their own unique journey and pace, we can free ourselves from this prison of comparison and focus on becoming the best version of ourselves without the need to compete or compare. Rules 4. Detachment from comparison. In the age of social media, we are often caught in the trap of comparing ourselves to others. Images of perfect lives, success, and happiness of friends or celebrities make us feel inadequate and pressured to meet unrealistic standards. It not only lowers our self-esteem, but also pushes us into a state of anxiety and dissatisfaction with ourselves. However, Stoicism advises us to detach from comparison by focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions. A specific example is when you see a friend buying a new house or getting a promotion. You may feel envious and question why you haven't achieved that yet. Instead of letting this comparison affect your mood, practice detachment by reflecting on your own circumstances and goals. Everyone has their own journey and pace of growth, and what others achieve has no bearing on your worth. Ask yourself, what is truly important to me? Am I living according to my values and goals? By doing so, you can focus on what you genuinely need and not get swept away by societal standards. Detachment from comparison does not mean being indifferent to what is happening around you, but rather understanding your true nature and not letting external factors control your emotions. When we let go of unrealistic expectations and define happiness based on our own values, we find peace and contentment in life. Rules 5. Detaching from expectations. In modern society, people are often trapped by expectations from various sources: family, friends, society, and especially themselves. But these expectations are often shaped by social standards of success and happiness, such as having a successful career, a stable life, or ideal relationships. We are constantly urged to achieve these things to prove our worth. However, striving to meet these expectations can sometimes lead us to lose our emotional freedom and make life more stressful. Detaching from these expectations is an essential step in finding true peace and happiness. Take, for example, the aspect of career where social expectations have a significant impact. Having a good job, a high salary, and an impressive title are often seen as symbols of personal success. Young people are often pressured to graduate from prestigious universities and quickly climb the career ladder in the shortest possible time. These expectations sometimes create a cycle of unhealthy comparison and competition. Imagine a person graduating with honors from a prestigious university like Harvard or Stanford. He receives a lot of praise and expectations from family and friends, but he will quickly become an important figure in a top company or successfully start his own business. But in reality, after a few years of working, he finds that his current job does not bring him satisfaction and meaning. Instead of recognizing this and changing direction, he continues to push himself, fearing disappointment from himself and others, thinking this is the only path to success. This leads to emotional exhaustion, stress, and even depression. Another example is in the realm of romantic relationships. Romantic relationships are often expected to be perfect, following an ideal model, passionate love, mutual support, and eventually a dream wedding. These images are reinforced through movies, media, and social networks. However, in reality, everyone has different needs and expectations, and trying to fit one's relationship into this ideal mode can lead to disappointment and significant pressure. Imagine a woman who is dating and has reached an age where her family and friends expect her to get married. Despite having many disagreements in her relationship with her current boyfriend, she tries to maintain it, fearing she will be judged as not good enough or unable to keep a relationship. She feels trapped between her personal desires and others' expectations, unable to make a clear decision for herself. To detach from such expectations, it is crucial for each individual to understand what they truly want and what brings them happiness, rather than merely fulfilling the standards that society sets. An effective way to start is to practice self-awareness and mindfulness. When facing expectations, ask yourself, is this really what I want? Or is it something I think I must achieve to be accepted? By doing this, we can gradually distinguish our genuine desires from external pressures. For example, instead of feeling pressured to have a high-ranking job at a large corporation, ask yourself, does this job truly bring me joy and satisfaction? Am I happy working here? If the answer is no, then perhaps it is time to consider a change, even if it goes against the expectations of society or family. Similarly, in relationships, if you feel that your current relationship does not bring happiness and mutual support, freeing yourself from that relationship is not a failure but an act of self-respect for both yourself and the other person. Detaching from expectations allows us more freedom in making decisions, reducing anxiety and stress caused by invisible social pressures. We are no longer confined by the standards or goals set by others, but instead, we can focus on living true to our values and desires. This is the path to emotional freedom and a more fulfilling and meaningful life. So, we've explored together the 5 golden rules of Stoicism for emotionally detaching from unnecessary attachments. Remember, this journey isn't about becoming cold or indifferent, but about finding freedom and inner peace. By accepting what's beyond your control, focusing on what you can change, and living a life aligned with your values, you'll gradually free yourself from emotional chains and find true happiness. Be patient and practice these rules daily. You'll be surprised by the positive changes they bring to your life. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more valuable content. And remember, you have the power to create your own happiness.